Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. These fly Eagles fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
You might the way kick things back here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast with Philly 501 Joey Shakes. Joey, what is happening, my man? How are you?
I am good, my friend. How are you doing? I know it's been I feel like it's been a while coming off the bye week.
I know, seriously, it feels like a whole nother off season just went by. Off season full of misery, complaining, losing faith, and a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions going into tomorrow, but I think we're going to get some answers of some stuff tomorrow, regardless of what happens, and we'll explain in this show what is going on. Robert, Little G Griffith, Major Payne, J Dog, Chris Kaufman. What is happening? Pasta and meatballs. Sound like my kind of guy. Pause, no Diddy. Timothy, Lucius the Show. Davey says, I got Ozempic. Oh, yeah? Tell me how it goes. Richie MC. Let's see. I think I got everybody here. Jonathan. Anybody I missed? Wicked Ones here. Tony. Twits. What's going on? Thank you guys so much for being here. Samuel, Howie, Big Mouse, or Big Moose, I can't see. Darren, Philly Swag. What is going on, guys? Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day that I believe we will find out all we need to know or all we thought about Nick Sirianni. If this team comes out flat, they do not play hard for this guy. If they come out and play hard, then at least we could say maybe he still has their ear on some level. So I think one way or the other tomorrow, Joey, I think we're going to know everything we need to know about Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, are they contenders or pretenders? I mean, it's not even to a point now. It's really about the coaching and, the bye week, getting 2 weeks to prepare for one of the worst football teams in the league, one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the league, one of the most highly sacked quarterbacks in the league, and with a lot of injuries too. The Browns are dealing with a lot of injuries. The Eagles are active roster wise are fully healthy. All your weapons are back. Lane Johnson's back. So there's really no excuses coming off a bye. There's really no time for this team to look slow in this game. And as of recent years, the Eagles haven't looked great coming off bye weeks, but this is not the time afford to do that.
No, this team should come out pissed off. They should come out mad. They should come out having made the appropriate changes that they've had to make. And they should go out and they should beat this team by at least double digits. And I think if they don't, I think it's bad. If they win by 3 points and they struggle all game, I'm sorry, but I have big problems with that. I do. I need to see a team that goes out and plays with some sense of urgency tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
So I think this is a test. Now, people say, well, come on, Philly, why do you think they should blow them out? They don't blow out anybody. But, to me, if I say that they can't blow the teams out, if I say, oh, well, yeah, they should only win by a little bit, I feel like then I'm letting them off the hook. Like, this team is good enough and talented enough that they should be destroying teams. I don't want to let them off the hook, lower the expectations of what the talent is. I want to hold the coaches, the GM, the quarter. I want to hold them responsible. You should be winning games and you should be kicking teams' ass,
Yeah, it really comes down to consistency, like going into these games, and like it'd be nice to win by 3 touchdowns. Like even if they win this game, and this is just me saying this, even if they win this game, I'm not going to say I'm all in on they're going to go far this year or anything like that, because this is just one game out of another 3 games you have that are very beatable on your schedule. So
Right.
you know what I mean? So you have a few games to where you say, hey, you know what? The Eagles could make some noise. They get that record up a little bit, get some wins in the win column, and then
Yep.
really start to build themselves up. But there has to be, that doesn't have to be the most perfect game in general, but
No.
there's got to be some consistency on both sides, and that's what we're talking about here.
I need to see this team play like it like I want to see them play like it matters as much as it does to the fans. Like I don't like when I feel like the fans care more about a team
Mm-hmm.
or a win than the players. And the players will say, "Well, that's not true. That's never the case." But I'm sorry. When Avante Max is talking about gaming, how much does he give a shit about the game? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You know.
I get it.
Frank Reynolds says we tend to play down to the competition. I know, and to me, like I look at last year and I look about like the Arizona game. We should have killed them. Should have beat the Giants, and we didn't do all these things. Like I mean, at what point, if you come out flat, if you come out and you can't do things, you say, "Well, this team does not have the coach's ear." I mean, the coach does not have this team's ear. They do not listen to him. At what point do you say that?
Yeah,
You know?
even last Sunday, I kind of was, even watch these other games, man. Like even the NFC East, the rest of the teams won. The Eagles got to do everything themselves. Like I thought the Giants, besides the Daniel Jones fumble, I thought he looked really good. I thought the Giants played tough. I thought they fought in that game against Seattle. Washington looked
Mhm.
really great. The next step for Washington is really, when they, they're about to play Baltimore, so
Yeah.
they start playing the more tougher teams to see where they're at as a team right now. And obviously, the Cowboys snuck out of one last week as well. So,
They stink. Yeah. Brian says, we have PTSD as fans. We can't trust the media or front office evaluation, etc. I don't see how we can. You know what I mean?
mm,
I don't think we can. Iron Wolf says if they don't beat the Browns, Nick will be fired ASP. All right, let's talk. Let's say, knock on wood, all that stuff. But let's just say, for argument's sake, we're not saying this is a fact, but for just the sake of the argument, let's say they lose tomorrow. What do you think Nick should make it to next week?
yeah, no, should not. If you had a couple, like I said, you have had a couple weeks to get prepared, to play this team, and even if you're coming off a bye, like, and you know what, at this point, if the front office, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, is letting this happen the last few weeks since the beginning of the season, I mean, the most Kellen Moore look-alike type game that we've seen was probably the first game, and that was pretty much it. Everything has been playing down to the competition. It's been too many bad decisions, and a lot of mistakes, and not making adjustments. It's a continuance off last year. I don't even, dude, if they win by 3, if they win by 20, if they win by 30, if they win by 100, it really doesn't matter. Like if they lose, I think it's done, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't get how you sit back. I feel like if they win by a point, the 3 points, if they win by a point tomorrow, as long as they're winning, it doesn't matter. That's why I felt like last year with so many of those ugly wins that they had, they seem to just say, you know what, let's just keep doing what we're doing. We're winning games, even if they're
Yeah.
ugly. They just allow this to happen, and it's not good enough. Tomorrow will not be good enough. They have to win the least like 10 plus points. I mean, at least 2
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year going 10-1, one of the negative things was that we were like, all right, we're winning. And we just ignored certain things that was wrong with the team. Hopefully, with the bye week, with Nick and Jalen Hurts talking, we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts' press conference in a minute. Hopefully, they come out and they're ready to go. I just want to see a team that feels and looks hungry and starts to hit on all cylinders. I really,
I agree.
I mean, I would love to see that, Now, I do think we're going to win. I think we're going to blow this team out. I do. The question is, will be in the fourth quarter they blow it open, or will they come out of the gate boom. You know, I mean, we haven't scored. I don't think we scored anything in the first quarter all year.
Nope.
I don't think we have any first quarter points. So it'd be nice to have your opening drive go down the field and put a touchdown in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You know, Witch King says Washington wins a few games now. Their fans don't know how to. Well, they don't know. They've been losing for so long. It's not even funny. J-Do says, why was Paris Campbell called up? Have our wide receivers back tomorrow. He was elevated for tomorrow. I think
Covey's out.
Yeah, Covey's out, and he's already been called up twice, right, from the practice squad. So you can only do it. I think you have to. Third time, you have to put him on the active roster. You can't keep bringing them back and forth. Dad said we could win every week if our quarterback stops turning the ball over and had defense that actually knew how to tackle. Yeah, well, did you see that at practice they were tackling actual coaches now instead of the big old donut?
It's really I don't even know what to even call that, if that's even tackling a guy. An assistant coach is literally standing there with a bag in his hand and not even moving. I don't get where the coaching is when it comes to tackling. I don't get it.
Yeah. Brian says, Phil, you said, I believe 2 of 4 start is unacceptable for this team. I do. Especially, I mean, I don't know if you watched. Yeah, you streamed that Washington Browns game, right? I mean, dude, he cannot throw over 4 yards.
No,
he stinks right now. And this should be a get right game for our. We should finally come out during post game tomorrow and be like, Bryce Huff 2 sacks. Josh Sweat a sack and a half. Like, these guys should get right tomorrow. That's the kind of game. This is a get right game. Build some confidence up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it really is.
Like literally, like every time like Deshaun Watson was pressured, like I felt like every time he tried to scramble, they bullied the crap out of him. Like the guy is inaccurate, can't pass the ball, nothing. I mean, you might have Amari Cooper, you might have some weapons out there. Jerry Judy's not really doing too much, but you don't have a run game. You're not going to have your top running back this week. Chubb's not even going to be playing this week. So
yeah. Real life Choo Choo says we need 150-yard games rushing. They should be able to run the ball. I think Washington had over 200 yards running the ball last week. So I do think you can run, and I do think they got a good front and they got some good pieces on defense. But I think their defense is on the field so long because that offense is so inept that I think they tired out. I tell you, JOK is a player though. He's definitely a player. And then I would say I think Chubb is back, right? Now, no.
I don't.
Is he out?
I think he's out. I think him and Hines I think both running backs are out this week.
Even if he's back, he's not back. You know what I'm saying?
Coming off a big injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What do you expect?
So you're not getting him 100%. Elaine, what's going on? Hi guys, I got the Eagles 27-14. Yeah, that's about what I think, something like that, Davey says, I think we score, we win. Well, yeah, that would be nice. No Cuts Sports Podcast, first super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Question, say the Eagles lose tomorrow and they take play calling fully from Nick. Would you think about keeping him and keep it rolling, fellas? Thank you for super chat. So if the punishment after tomorrow's game is they took all the play calling from Nick, yeah, I mean, maybe. I think they probably would. I wouldn't, but I think they probably would. But the question is why didn't they take the play calling from Nick this bye week? It should have happened, and that brings me. What did you think of Jalen Hurts' comments? Because we didn't talk since Jalen Hurts had that press conference, which I thought really gave it away when talking about Nick Sirianni.
Oh, I've been fighting with fans all week about the situation, and really, like, I feel like more fans are defending Nick, and like, I feel like it was forced in some cases. I don't know. I felt like Hurts had to say that, and I had one of the most productive bye weeks I've ever had, and Nick and I don't know, quote unquote, what he said in that factor, but he pretty much just said like they've been talking and trying to figure things out. And I don't know if that's a good thing or that's a really bad thing. I mean, they're still trying to fit. They're going back and forth. We know this. They've been doing it since last year. The offense has no identity right now. There's no identity.
Well,
So,
I mean, what would they be if the head coach isn't calling the plays and if it isn't involved in the offense? What would they be fighting about? Like, what would they have to work out? To me, it sounds like Nick is got control of the offense more than people like to admit, and it's probably pissing Jalen Hurts off.
Yeah. Why isn't he fighting with Kellen Moore then? If Kellen Moore is more in control, that's it. Just kind of gives it away that Nick has more control over the situation. Yeah,
it does. And I know there's plenty of criticism that you could throw at Jalen Hurts. I think I think he way too many turnovers, all that kind of stuff. I just wonder, like, would that my first step to see if it would improve with Jalen would be take Nick out of the equation and then see if that helps the situation. And if it doesn't, then do the next thing. And if you try a few things and it's not working, then But it's hard for me to if your quarterback is having such problems with the coach and the coach is involved in the offense and the play callings, then why wouldn't your quarterback struggle? That's my question.
I don't get why you have a game I don't know why you have a game against Tampa Bay where you're down your two top receivers and you still throw over 30 times and you run with Saquon 10 and you use Kenneth Gainwell for 2-minute offense every fucking game. And then he takes over the fucking second half. I don't get the common sense reasoning. There's no checkdowns. You're not playing what the defense gives you. You're gunslinging it. 3 times straight. You're not winning games that way. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Pat Mahomes, I feel who you root for. Dodgers. I'll go for the Dodgers. I won't root for the Mets. No, no, definitely no. Never. J-Dog says, you see Terrifier 3 yet, Joey?
Opening night I did last night. It was fantastic.
He saw it. I never even heard of it. But yeah. Hurts is great from the pocket when he stays in the pocket. Go F yourself says F the Yankees and Mets though. Of course, F them. I don't care about no Subway Series. I could care less. That's like watching the Soviet Union versus China. The Communist Series. Forget it. I ain't watching it. Which King member 15 months ago goes, we are tied second worst in the league in turnovers differential by playing 4 games so far. Also second least takeaways. That's crazy. And think about this. We're playing we're going into week 5 this week? And the Eagles have only played 1 time at home. They've only had 1 home game so far.
Yeah, pretty much, technically.
Yeah. AJ and Devontae weren't hurt. We would have at least won 1 more. Yeah, I mean, it's that Atlanta game. I mean, you should have won that game anyways. Let's face it. We blew that game. We should be 3-1 right now, complaining about our team not being good enough. So, Big Ben, stop what you're doing and hit that like button. Absolutely. So, I mean, tomorrow I think we'll get to see what changes did they make during the bye week. How have they improved? Like, did Nick? Is he stepping away from the play calling now? What did him and Jalen work out? What was the problem? I think we're going to see a lot of questions answered tomorrow. I mean, you're going to have AJ back, Devontae back. There's no reason why this team shouldn't run over the Browns tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
Dave said we all saw this happening back in the offseason. If we could predict this, why didn't Howie? He has blood on his hands. Yeah, I mean, Howie's got some culpability in this whole thing. I tend to focus more on Howie in the off season and less on during the season. But I think if you look at some of the draft picks, they need to start panning out. And then I think also, why, if you're going to run Vic Fangio's system, why are you so weak at linebacker where you need to be good at? And why did you make a move in free agency, like get rid of Reddick and then go out and get Bryce Huff when he doesn't seem to fit the system?
Yeah, why do they keep this defense in house? Why do they keep the same defense the last few years? Why do you hire a coordinator that is going to take players out of position on top of trading away good players, and you're taking players out of position? And like I feel like they screwed up the whole. I don't know. I just feel like the scheme is just not going to last. And this is I mean, at least like last year with the Dolphins. I know it's early right now, but he was top 10 in quarterback hits. He was top 3 in pressures. And I mean, you're not even close to that right now. I mean, the edge you can't run 5-man fronts all the time either, because if an offense has a lot of weapons, especially at wide receiver, you can't necessarily run that, because Nakobe Dean is really going to be your only linebacker back there if Zach Baun's on the line. If you want to move Milton on the outside, move Graham on the inside, and that's where, when Huff was out of the game and during that Saints game, that's where we really benefited when he wasn't there. But I don't even know if this is with Bryce Huff in general. Like, is this a technique problem? Is this a get off type problem? Because with the Jets, like technique wise, he was in a 4-point stance. Like it was like the Eagles.
They ran a 4-3 defense, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, I like I said, I've said this about Carter. Like, I think Carter would be better in a 4-3 defense than a 3-4. So yeah, they want to run this system. They want to run Vic Fangio's system for the last 3 years.
Do you think? And let me ask one more thing. Do you think? And I think Nakobe Dean has been like, I think he's flashed, but I just, for me, like, I don't. Do you think that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. should get an opportunity here?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think he should get at least some snaps in certain situations. And I don't think Dean has been horrible. I don't. I don't think he's. I just think Dean is I think he's just I kind of see him like I see Reed Blankenship. Like a good player could be a good player on a team, an average player on a team, a guy that can play and come in and make some plays. Do I ever think he's going to be a perennial all-pro type linebacker? No, but I think he could be decent. The question with Dean is, and I saw it earlier this week, he popped up on the injury report. So, can he also stay healthy? That's the thing. I don't think, Dean hasn't been bad, but I would like to see Trotter maybe in certain situations get on the field. Why not?
He left a tweet. He actually left a tweet. I think it was after the Tampa game, where it was a picture of him sitting in front of his locker with a sad face, like he's like really begging for that opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, they cut Devin White, and we haven't even talked about that yet. I mean, that whole situation.
We said it.
Yeah, Trick Run David Super J goes, Phillies blew it. Dodger fans about to get humbled. You could be right. I mean, the Mets are playing good ball, 500. It's week 6, not week 5. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm still in the bye week. Thinking, my bad. I was thinking about the Eagles only playing 4 games. Big Ben says we need 200 more likes. We absolutely we do. There's no question about it. So they cut our boy Devin White. I thought Devin White was going to have a rebound year. His career, he was going to find himself. It was going to be great. We were going to get this steal at linebacker, and they never played him one snap. What the hell, Joey? What the hell happened there?
I don't get it. That Nick said that he likes the look. I can get it. Like maybe he likes some of the the young talent that's back there. But man, we could have used Devin White for some of these damn games. I mean, there's just been, plus from Devin White's side, he's just been. I think he figured when the season started he was going to start, and the Vic Fangio says that Nakobe Dean beat him out from start to finish in training camp, which we thought that was a bunch of bullshit anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
Regardless. But I feel like if they let Zach Baun, if he walks, man, it's like you're recycling this system where like you'll have a guy that plays good, and then when it's time to sign, you don't sign them, and then you have to hit the restart button on trying to produce these guys all over again. If Jeremiah Trotter Jr. doesn't hit the field this year and they let Zach Baun walk, it's just a recycling thing that they're never going to get. If they're not going to draft anybody high, and you're not going to pay a lot of money for a linebacker free agency, then you're never going to get this position right.
No, I mean, that's why I look at Trotter and go, we need Trotter to be good because we need to hit on those linebackers like we did with like TJ Edwards. Otherwise, it's going to be a constant revolving door. I'm really shocked that they didn't use him. Like, even in a situation where, like, I thought maybe you use him and maybe you try to put him on the edge at times and let him rush. Like,
Something.
maybe he helps you with the, like, rushing at times. Like, just find a way to use him. And they didn't even give him a chance. So now he'll go sign somewhere else and be an all-pro. And you watch, and we'll be going, geez. But I don't know. I think my theory is that this is front office interference because he practiced every day I was live every training camp practice. I was live 7:00 in the morning my time.
Yeah, I saw.
And he was every day of practice. He was the starter. He was the only linebacker that started with the starters the whole camp, the first 2 games. Then all of a sudden, Dean beat him out. If Dean was beating him out, we would have saw indications. We would have saw, Dean started today, or Dean got as many snaps with the first team as White. There was never anything like that.
I think another thing with that situation is like, Nakobe Dean's finally healthy. They don't want to put him on the bench because you're not gonna bench Zach Bond. So they're saying to themselves, well, Dean is like finally, like, he's not hurt. He's playing well, I guess, at the time, and they didn't want to risk sitting him again, and they're gonna get nothing back in return. I don't know what it is, bro. I really don't.
Nothing. They got nothing for him, man.
No,
nothing for him. They would have been better off playing him and dressing him, letting him be a backup, and saying to him, "Listen, we're going to try to trade you. You put a good face on. You go with the flow, and we'll get you. We'll send you somewhere else, and we'll get something for it." And they would have had a better chance than to not dress him. Yeah. I mean, if you're not dressing him and he's not playing, why is a team going to pay you a draft pick for him to trade? So it's crazy. Purified David Super Chat goes, "Yo, Philly, I'm hyped for tomorrow." I'm hyped too, man. I'm glad that we get to see some football. You know what I mean? It's going to be good. Let me catch up to this chat. I'm way behind. Fade 2 Gaming David Super Chat. He goes, "If I see the same ish tomorrow against the Browns, slow start, not giving the ball Barkley, no motion, other things, nothing's changed. Pound fly, Eagles fly." Yeah, I'm going to be pissed. I'm probably getting ready for like a major epic meltdown because I've been really patient the first few weeks, but I feel like I'm starting to get really frustrated by the same old mistakes. Green Blaze David Super Chat goes, 2 Nittany Lions. We need Abdul Carter versus Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
I heard
Carter
Abdul Carter is not going to be around long, so who knows?
Yeah, probably not.
It's crazy. Now let's talk. I don't want this to be all negative. We are 2-2, only 4 games, and I do think we have some good news here.
Oh yeah.
Besides the starters all being back, our boy, the Flying Frenchman, if he was Italian, Cooper DeGino, is going to look like he's going to get a start in the slot. I'm excited to get him on the field, man. I don't expect him to be perfect tomorrow, but I think he's hungry. I think a lot of these guys are fat cats that have been with this team a while. Their head's not in the game. They get paid. I think Avonte Maddox is one of them. And I want hungry young guys playing. Paul's no Diddy. And DeJean starting tomorrow, man. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, the rumor was he was going to start, and then, like, obviously they weren't going to say he's going to officially start just because they don't want to give the opposing team any ammo to use or to really know what's going on. So, but that's great, though. I mean, we were kind of waiting on this for a while. We've already, we've already thought some things. There was a tweet. Isaiah Rodgers was liking some tweets a few days ago. Some Colt fans were tweeting for him to come back, and he liked. This is a guy that should be on the field. Obviously, he's a quality starting cornerback right now. Just think about it, Philly. If we would have made a big mistake if Isaiah Rodgers didn't mess his hand up before the first game, he would have been the starting outside corner, and I think he would have been the number 2 corner, and Quinyon would have been on the inside the whole year. I think that's what would have happened.
Could be, yeah. You might be
Um,
right. What do you? I don't like liking the tweets about going back somewhere. To me, it makes me feel like that kind of stuff, like that. Even the Devin White posting his linebacker doing
oh
good against
man,
your team, like the Darius Slay stuff, the Devontae Maddox stuff, in the game. I feel like those are things that make me feel like the players don't care as much about winning for the Eagles as we do. I'm sure
agree.
Isaiah Rodgers is frustrated and he wants to get on the field. How are you the best defenseman said by your coaches during all of the offseason programming, and then you don't even get a snap?
And he had a lot of snaps at number 2. Like, I get it. Like, you're telling me the problem too, and on top of everything else, like they have so many outside corners that only play on one side. Some guys can't even play both sides. A lot of the guys, most of the guys, probably none of the guys besides Max and DeJean and Quignon, which, that was a big risk putting Quignon on the inside, starting training camp. You're taking him out of position as a first-round pick. That's like something you don't mess around with. You're taking guys out of position in that way. It's really dangerous. So having DeJean back is great, and I think there's a lot to look forward to. But man, you don't even cross train anybody in the offseason. You don't cross train Rodgers or Ricks or Ring. I mean, nobody. I mean, I know Ringo was played on the inside before. We were down, and when Avonte Max was hurt, we didn't have Texas Tech guy, whatever his name is, I forgot, he's not here anymore.
Right.
Zach McPherson, when they both got injured, they were throwing Eli Ricks to the inside. Really, couldn't really do it. Isaiah, Ringo, they couldn't do it. I mean, they didn't cross train enough guys in the offseason program. They've really been stuck in one spot. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. Q replaces Slay. Isaiah on the other side, Ringo. Well, see, and Ringo's the other guy that's the odd man out, because if, let's say, Slay goes out, you're probably going to put Rodgers in, right, over Ringo. I would assume. So
yeah.
Who knows? And there's some chatter that the Eagles could be looking to move Slay by the trade deadline. I tell you, at this point, I don't mind. After all the Parsons stuff, after him, I don't know. I just feel like we got some fat cats on this team, that have been there for a while, have made a lot of money, and they just kind of go through the motions. I think we need young, hungry guys. I mean, look at the difference in that clip, that Tampa Bay clip. Like, I think that clip, that 45-second clip, showed everything you need to know about where some of the players' heads are.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Slay talking about how his career and how long he's been playing, right? Posting stats right after the game. Then you have Avonte Maddox talking about, hey, are you still gaming? Thinking about Fortnite. And then you have Q, who talks shit back, who's all into it, heads in the game.
Yeah.
I think we need to get the hungry guys on the field. If you're not hungry, if you maybe – you've been there a while, and your head's not in the game, get them out, and put the guys that are hungry on the field.
Is it Nick in charge of the culture? I mean,
right.
does he? That's what I'm thinking. This culture is damaged a little bit. I feel like there are players that are not. There are players that are just not caring right now, and they're not going to say anything to the public just because they don't want the media to be on their back all year. And right. I think there might be some players that have already walked out the door already. I mean, who knows? But I mean, Slay, like, depending on the dead money and stuff, I think it's like, I forgot how much it was. It was in the double digits, I know. So I don't right. know if they can get away with doing that unless there's a loophole in that thing. If they could try to trade him. The source actually is really not a horrible source. He's been right on some of the moves that happened with the Eagles in the past. So if they're saying, we have some young corners back there, which we do, like Ringo wants a shot, Isaiah Rodgers wants to come in, and if Slay's already like on his farewell tour and he's going to treat the season like, let me make my money and just retire, I don't want him here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, do you remember in the third game versus Minnesota in preseason, Cooper DeJean played? Do you remember like what the guys on the broadcast were saying? Like all they talked about was how like excited Cooper DeJean was to get out there, hit somebody. He wanted to be in the action. He winds up hitting somebody, taking a penalty. Like, he wanted to play. He was hungry. Q, he's hungry. I know Ringo's hungry. Isaiah Rodgers, even though I know I don't like him liking his tweets, I think he wants to be out there. He's hungry. We got to find a way to get those guys on the field and playing.
Right.
Davies, member for 7 months, says Sirianni is the NFL's equivalent to come. I can't say that. You're going to get me throttled. I'm already getting throttled so bad already. Maryland Eagle, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, what up, fellas? Eagles get back fully healthy right off a bye week, back at the link and playing possibly the worst team in football. If they somehow lose this and the team doesn't look ready or motivated, Sirianni needs to go. Yeah, man. Thank you so much for the generous donation. We were saying that at the beginning of this stream. You have to destroy this team, and you have to be ready to play. We agree. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's funny because, you know, you look at a guy like Brandon Graham. He's been in the league however long, right? Going to play his 200th game as an Eagle, I think. Going to set the record. But you listen to him when they have him mic'd up stuff. He's hungry. His head's always in the game, always. And you know, because when I hear the things that like the Maddox thing and the Slay, and I hate bringing those things up, but it makes me feel like their head's not in the game. They're just going through the motions, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
X Crush, thank you for the super chat. Goes, so what time you all lose them more? Well, we play at 1 Eastern. So we'll be winning tomorrow, though. I don't think we lose, you know.
Hope not.
Yeah. Giants hit their win quota already. They did. Bubba says Rodgers played on both sides and in the slot in Indy. They don't want to play him. Well, he said in an interview that he told them he didn't want to play in the slot. And I don't think he's had any reps with the Eagles in the slot. But, I mean, I think initially they brought him in as thinking he was going to be a slot corner. I remember when they signed him, that's what they said. So who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. 500
Watson is so bad he hasn't even passed 200 yards passing. If he throws all over us, I'm done. Dude, I'm telling you, if he goes out there and he throws like 250 or let's say 200 in the first half, I'm fine. If he goes like 17 to 20 for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'm fine.
Literally, the one thing I'm afraid of in this game for Deshaun Watson is we're not going to contain the outside. And he's going to get free runs on 3rd and 14. He's going to run all over us all fucking down the field. That's what I feel.
You know what I'm worried about, dude? You know what I worry about? My biggest fear is that he's going to stink it up, and they're going to bench him, and Watson's going to come, and what's his face? Winston is going to come in, and we're just going to be totally not ready, and he's just going to have a big game. Yeah. That worries me, you know.
Yeah.
Dad says I might be retiring for the year tomorrow if we lose. Yeah, we won't lose. We won't lose. I mean, you never say never. It's the NFL, but I don't think we'll lose. The question is will we make it closer than we have to? Will we keep this team in it? Will we come out and not be able to score in the first quarter? Will we come out and on the first 3 plays of the game keep sending our guys on all deep routes? Don't run the ball. Will Jalen be turning over the ball at least twice tomorrow? Like, are the same things going to continue, or are the adjustments going to be made? I personally believe, this is my theory now, I believe that besides the Green Bay game, forget the Green Bay game, but the other games we played, I believe that Nick Sirianni is scripting the first 15 plays, and they're his plays. I believe he's calling the plays early, and then more comes in the second half more. So I want to see how the first 15 plays are scripted.
It looks like it. I mean, the second halves look totally different than the first halves all the damn time. You know?
Yeah. Philly, I hope you know that Deshaun Watson is throwing for 350 yards at least 2 touchdowns. Dude, he's averaging, I think he averages, was it like 3.8 yards a pass or something? Ridiculous. It's really bad. Like, Deshaun Watson has more yards rushing average. He has a higher rushing average than he does throwing average. I mean, if he comes out and throws for 350 yards, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I think that we got talent in the secondary. Like, I know we got some young guys. I bet you if that did happen, it would be a pass rush issue. I mean, Baker Mayfield started the game 14 of 15. Who goes 14 of 15 against teams? Well, it doesn't happen, dude, except for if they play us.
Fucking crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Wicked One, welcome. Is this me or you? Let's see. I can't tell.
I think it's me. I think. It is. It is. Wicked One. Thank you for joining the Shake Squad Army, man. Thank you so much for joining up for the extra content, all the great stuff. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Lazy for says no turnovers more. I agree.
Hopefully not.
We're going to support both guys now. We appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Wicked One. Thank you.
Yeah. So my hope is that tomorrow we come out, we just blast right through the Browns, and then I'll feel pretty good. Feel much better, and then we go watch the Cowboys lose to the Lions, and then Washington will lose to the Ravens, and then a Giant. I think the Giants are getting. I think is Kayvon Thibodeau. He just go on the IR. He just went on the IR.
Yeah, 4 weeks. I think.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be in the Eagles game.
Yeah,
that's
it's huge.
Be a problem for them. Yeah. Let's see. Problem is that most likely squeak it out and will make us forget the true issues of the team. I honestly, Chief, I don't think people are buying it anymore. I don't think winning by 3 or starting I don't think people are buying it anymore. They got away with that last year at the end of last year. I don't think it's happening anymore.
We're not falling for it anymore. Like we saw how they played last year. We thought it was Brian Johnson. We had to give him more time, and then we found out the news that Nick was game playing the whole time. So then it's like there's no defenses were adjusting to our offense. The Eagles never adjusted back, and the talent only took us so far throughout the year, and then everything fell apart. You clinched a playoff berth, and you still didn't fix anything. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. If they would have went into that Tampa game and said, you know what, even though they didn't have Barkley, it was Swift last year, but even if they went into that Tampa game and said we're gonna run 50%, 45% of the time, they would have won that game. They would have won the game.
Oh yeah.
But they refuse. It's like these coaches, and what I don't understand about Nick is it's like, do you care about winning, or does it only count if it's done a certain way? Because to me, if I was a head coach, if I have to run the ball 80 times in a game, and I know I'm just being ridiculous, but I would do it. Whatever it takes to win is what I would do. What's my system? My system would be whatever my team is good at, and whatever I'm going up against is not good at. You know what I mean? And I would develop things weekly. And it seems like that with the Eagles coaches sometimes it's like, we don't care about just winning. It's how we win. And I shouldn't even say coaches. That's the front office. I mean, the front office, this has been a known complaint. I'm not making this up. This has been a known complaint for years. Remember Doug Peterson? I think it was after I forget what game, but they were literally, he would have to meet every Tuesday with Lurie and Howie, and they were mad because they won, but they ran the ball more than they threw it or something like that. So that's a problem,
It is.
Dominique Joe, thank you for the super chat. He goes, it's hard to run with a full belly. Money play. Yeah, exactly. They're not hungry, huh? That's exactly right. Fade 2 Gaming, thank you so much. Is this me or you?
Thank you for coming, member Fade 2 Gaming. Thank you so much for joining up and supporting. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it so much,
man. Yes. Wicked was it? Stop being so negative. Just kidding. But that's why I like Joey. Keeps it real about the team, like I do
all the time.
Got to keep it real. Got to keep it real. I try to be positive. I try to look at it from a half full, like, all right, these are things are wrong, but if we could just do this, look at what we have here. But it's harder to do with Nick because, when you talk about like the problems on his team, like to me, the number one problem on his team is the head coach. I really believe that the head coach, and then I think a flawed a flawed defensive scheme, and then I think the quarterback. And I think those are your three big problems. And I hope that taking care of the first problem will help take care of the third problem, but I don't know for sure.
Right.
Fabio Davis Super Chat goes, Jalen's too short to see the field on open guys. Well, I mean, Drew Brees had that problem. All you got to do is you got to take a deeper drop back if that's really the problem. But I don't think that's the problem with Jalen. Jalen's problem is he turns the ball over too much. He misses simple reads and things that he shouldn't. And I think I believe it's coming because of a lack of trust in what they're doing. But I don't know for sure. But I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it is. Because the other scenario is if it's not and it's just him, then guys, we got a quarterback problem on our hands. And that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, and you're giving this like this year. You're probably giving this next year. And man, are they going to keep? Are they going to keep? Juggling coordinators around and changing it every year? And Nick's still going to be here. I mean, when they start losing games, they can't blame the execution on the players. It comes down to what they have been doing the last few years. And since Shane Steichen has left, this offense has not been the same. And I'm still waiting to see when they're going to have a blowout game. And I think with the roster that you have right now, a $12 million running back that you don't even fucking use, all the time, it's a huge problem. Like, why aren't you bullying teams? Why aren't second, third, and shorts? You're running with Saquon, making it so simple, so easy. Short passing game, getting the running backs in the receiving game. No mesh concepts, no crossers, hot routes, no middle of the field, 4 vert routes. I mean, this is what we're watching every week. It's what we're watching every week.
For what was it? The first 3 plays last week or 2 weeks ago were no runs. I think first 3 plays, no runs, and all 3 plays the receivers were going vertical. It's like what?
And it's not Nick. Come on now.
But that was one of the problems we had with Nick last year. Remember, so it's crazy. Mad Tight Davis Super Chat goes, the culture is soft. The guys with the biggest mouths have underperformed. Gainwell at running back. Nick calling the plays. Yeah, that's a great indicator right there.
Nick,
when it's on third down.
Yeah, well, not even that, but Gainwell going in for 2-minute offense when you need to score on that drive, you're going to get the ball in the second. I mean, seriously, like, why in the most? You think that defense is like, oh my God, Kenneth Gainwell, watch out.
Where's Barkley? Where's 26?
Right.
26 on the sideline. All right.
We got
so where's 88? Because 6 and 11 aren't there. Where's 88?
They sub him out. They put Gainwell in, and they try to throw a ball to him immediately. That's what the same shit they did last year. Yeah. When Swift had a big run, they take him out. They put Gainwell in. So what happens is Swift would have a big run for a first down. They run him again for 2-3 yards. For 2-3 yards, they take him out. They say, screw it. They take him out. Yeah. They put Gainwell in, and automatically they throw the ball to him. We already know what they do. It's actually really.
And let me tell you, dude, if it's like 3rd and 3, and I see Gainwell check in, I'm like, damn. We did not get it. Are we going to go for it on 4th down? It's like every time. The Lord Grace Davis Super Chat goes, after watching Jalen Hurts blow out loud because he don't have his weapons, defense can't stop a nosebleed. Jordan Davis is a bust. Won't watch it. I understand your frustration. I do. And Jordan Davis is very frustrating to me too. I still think he's overweight.
He looks slow.
He just. I mean, I don't know. That Tampa game, they had one offensive lineman was handling them just fine. I just really wonder if these guys are they're just not playing a scheme that fits their talents.
Or maybe they're not mentally there. I mean, it could be a whole bunch of things. Because we say this now, and then when these players leave to play somewhere else, we say to ourselves, what the hell's going on? And that's what happens all the time. Like Devin White's a team is going to pick up Devin White in 2 seconds.
Devin White,
he hasn't played a snap.
He's going to go. He's going to, by week 7, he's going to find a team. He's going to start. He's going to be comeback player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be going, what happened? Chris Kaufman, remember for 13 months, he goes, Nick isn't humble enough. Yeah, I agree. You know, I mean, we're gonna find out tomorrow like what kind of voice Nick really has with this team. Clark Davis Super Jacobs 500 Joey. I don't care if we win the next 2 games by 100 points and 20 sacks. I want Nick rah predictable offense the hell out of here. I'm done with it. Yeah, I think honestly, I think a lot of people are in agree with you.
I'm already done. Like I'm already done. Like I don't trust this guy at all. I don't trust him coming off this bye week. I don't trust that this game is going to be more consistent. Like I hope to God, I hope whatever conversation they had during the bye week. Like if you have to talk to your head coach during a bye week where you really should be getting away from football, then I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, if I don't believe it. Look, I really want to believe, but I just don't believe that fully this offense is going to change that come tomorrow. Not fully.
So you don't think there's any possibility that they got together and Nick said, "All right, you know what, Jalen, I'm out. I'm staying out of the offensive play calls. I'm staying out of the installation of the game plan during the week. I'm going to just manage again." You don't think there's any chance of that, huh?
You have to handcuff this guy in the locker room before you go out to play this game because he literally can't help himself. Yeah, these talks are great, but it's got to show on the scoreboard. It's got to show statistically every week. It's got to show coming out of the game with a W in the win column. Like if you don't do that, these talks don't mean anything. Then
what kind of what would they talk about if you're not talking about that? What would you be talking about? That's what I don't understand. It's not like Nick comes out and throws Jalen under the bus in public. He never, like he doesn't say things like that. So like, what would the problem be? If Nick isn't interfering, what's the problem? He has to be, in my opinion, interfering, and it's a problem for Jalen at the end of last year and this all season. And then I think Nick stayed around with the belief that he was going to back off. And he decided at some point that he was going to take control again.
Well, we know it went back and forth the whole entire offseason. One, it was he was taking over. They were going to combine their schemes, and then it was then Kellen Moore's taking over. Then Devonta Smoith had a celebrity softball thing. He was like, "It's nice to see Nick take a step back." It was just back at rubber banding back and forth. Us not even knowing what was really going on. We saw that Packers game. We thought it was good. Didn't play perfect in the situation that they were in when it came to the field, and playing in Brazil is technically a home game. So he said that looked like more like Saquon Barkley had we thought good things were happening, but back to the same old shit in this very dry. I mean, look, even if you beat this team by 100 points, okay, the Giants are going to be a tougher team next week. In my opinion, they're going to be a tougher team next week because they're fighting. They're showing with less talent. They're showing more fight with better coaching behind it. It's just the truth, man. It's just that's what it is right now. The Bengals, like they can. I think they can hold a game up pretty well. They're not going to play as bad as everybody expects. They're competing. They might be losing some games here and there, but they're competing. Slow. Yeah, so I don't think it's as these next 4 games are beatable, but they're not as easy as everyone expects it to be. But we're playing like after watching football last Sunday, and I watched a shit ton of games last Sunday. This team looks like the worst coached team with so much talent that I've ever seen, especially offensively.
It is. It is. That's why I don't like to say, "Oh, well, if we just win the game, we'll be okay." Like, I don't want to lower my expectations based upon what this talent is. Like, this team should be blowing teams out. Like, I think you're 2-2 in spite of the coaching. I mean, we lost the Atlanta game because of coaching. I thought in the New Orleans game, and I thought in the Tampa game, the coaches did everything they could to help lose that game as well. I mean, you look at the New Orleans game. How many field goal opportunities did you give up when you needed to put points on the board? It was crazy. So I think that they're 2-2 in spite of the coaching. But I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that this is what changed during the course of the bye week, and it might not have. And yeah, if they beat the Browns and they crush them, yeah, I'm not going to say, "Oh yeah, we're going to NFC Championship game. We're back." I might say it a little bit to piss the Cowboy fans off, but in truth, I'll just be happy that we lived up to expectations, that we showed something, that we showed some sort of life. What I really liked, really got me pumped up about that New Orleans game was the way the defense showed life. That's what I want to see from this team.
They played like they were bullies, like they were pissed off, and like
Right.
and the one thing that annoyed me so much, like Mr. Flaunt in 22, our head coach, like stopping if Jalen Carter is locked in.
God.
I thought that was so stupid of him to do, to hold him back and tell all this shit that Sirianni did on the field, all his stupid bullshit he did on the field last year, and he's got the balls to go up to Jalen Carter to stop what he's doing. You act like he's gonna go punch a fan in the stands or something.
No, he was doing what every other player does, on our team. God bless you.
Sorry.
No, God bless you. Big Chris says Hurts always looking for the kill shot instead of taking what the defense gives him. Yeah, I know, but why? Here, that's my question. Like, why? Is it because the plays are not? There's nobody there from the outlet to at the time? Is it because he doesn't trust the plays, doesn't trust the players? Is he just saying I'm going to do it my way and that's it? And he's just being stubborn? Is he just that's just the way he is and he can't change, or is he being taught wrong? And these are things I think that's hard to fully judge with the coach that you have. I do. Why can't Jalen Hurts learn to check it down? Why can't Jalen Hurts learn to do things? I mean, if you look at the Tampa game, right? And I said this earlier in the week. If you're playing without your best two wide receivers and you're not running the ball to your best player, what is Jalen Hurts going to do but naturally start to hold the ball longer, try to make a big play because he's not going to trust what's around him or what's being called? So the offense, the coaching, the game plan put him in a position and set him up for failure. That's the way I see it.
And dude,
at least of right now.
Dude, this is talent evaluation too. Like, like even watching football last Sunday, like, I'm seeing 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks start for defenses. Like, we haven't hit on a lot of picks mid rounds. Like, we really don't hit on a lot of picks. A lot of guys are not working out for this team going forward. And, how are you supposed to draft guys and get the talent you need where are you drafting towards the scheme? Are you drafting? I feel like you're getting more aggressive players for a more aggressive scheme. And if you're not doing that, then it completely, you're just taking guys out of position. So I don't get the whole drafting process. I don't get, we look back and say, some of these decisions were bad. Would they be bad? Are some of these players not producing because of the scheme? I mean, I guess for some reason, I think the biggest obviously is defensive end because Nolan Smith seems to be doing nothing. You got rid of Hassan Reddick. That looks like he's going to be fucking right now. Hassan Reddick, he just fired his fucking agent. So now
his agent quit. No, they quit on him. They
quit on him.
Yeah, they quit on him.
So he might be taking off the whole. He might take off the whole year now.
I got somebody sending me DMs. Right. I'm not. I shouldn't even say it. No, but
say it.
Basically, I don't know if it's true or anything like that. Because I get a lot of things that are never true. Most of the stuff, but every once in a while I'll get something. That's like that comes true. But they're like, yeah, watch Reddick's coming back to Philly if he gets cut. I'm like, all right, oh no, this is a fact I know. Okay, well we'll see, but we'll find out. Fade to game David super chat. My man, he goes, no, thank you both. Gotta support both homies. Appreciate that, my man. Joey, I believe this is you as well.
Cameron Harris, thank you for coming, member of the Shake Squad Army. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate all the support, dude. Thank you so much for joining up.
Yeah, thank you.
I gotta get a tissue real quick. Give me a second.
Okay. Go have yourself. I'll catch up to the chat. Go have yourself. Says 500. I hope the personal situation is getting better. It's pretty much it's pretty much resolved now. So thank you. It was a pain in the butt last few weeks though. Philip Davis super chat goes, watch us let Watson turn into his 2020 self tomorrow. That would not be good. Fabio Davis super chat goes, offense is involved because of Kelly having control before. Yeah, the Chip Dip Kelly thing really screwed the Eagles up in a big way. They front office wise have not recovered from that. Esteban, David Super Chick goes 500. Te amo, soy un grande fan in the club. So I think you're saying I'm a fan in Colombia. Is that what he's saying? 500, you got a fan in Colombia?
You know
Right?
better
Is
than
that
I
what he's
do.
saying? I have 500. Te amo, soy un gran fan de Colombia. I think he said fan in Colombia. Thank you and shout out to Colombia. I believe that's what he said. Tebow, David Super Chat. Lucky to win 7 games. Let's keep it real, man. That means we're only going to win 5 more games this year. We suck last year off of 1-6, last 7 games. This year, same players, except for Super Bowl, still same problems. Defensive tackle, edge rushers work hard, work hand in hand with same as pass rush. Hurts is average at best. Tebow, man, thank you for Super Chat. I can't.
Well,
I can't
like
deny what he's saying
no.
in terms of the last 7 games last year, and it does look a lot like. I mean, there's a lot of what he's saying.
Yeah,
I hope they can figure it out, though.
The same problems, and he's saying too, like, what's the sense? Like, if you can't generate a pet, like if you're giving that much cushion with your cornerbacks, your defensive line does not even exist. It didn't even exist last week. And then when they started playing heavy zone in the second half, and then you had no pass rush. I mean, they just got those free chunk yards in open space last week, a couple weeks ago. Scheme sucks.
Yeah. Go after yourself. Say he's a big fan. Big fan of Columbia. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Columbia International 500. Dude, I did really bad in Spanish, dude. I did not do good. I could barely speak English. How am I going to speak another language? Richie says 500. The problem with Hurts is he's no longer playing 11-10. There is no spy on him. Also, the O-line is not as good as last year. So at times there's 6-man blocking scheme, blocking for guys. But I think a lot of that is not that the offensive line is playing like worse. I just think a lot of it is predictability. I think
100%.
I mean, how many times do you can we call the plays out before the play happens? You know where it's going. It's like it's crazy.
You're not taking what the defense gives you. You don't give the defense anything else to worry about. If you're not at least if you check the ball down with Saquon and you know you're going to get a free 5 to 8 yards, take the check down. Make the defense worry. When you're just going to gunsling it 3 times straight, you're not making the defense worry about anything. All it's going to motivate them to do is blitz more against Jalen Hurts because they're not going to be able to do anything because we know when they really to beat Jalen Hurts, you got to heavy blitz him and he's pretty much done. Yeah. He's finished. Yeah. It's over.
Yeah, but a lot of times if you look at it, right, like there's no hot reads, there's no hot route, there's nobody, and to me it's not. Sometimes Hurts just doesn't see it. But there are times where there's literally everybody's going deep. Everybody's going vertical. There is no outlet. And there is no safety valve for him. And I don't see especially in Nick Sirianni's offense, it hasn't been built in, and it should be more in what's his face? Major Payne says 500. Esteban said he loves you and his fan from the country of Colombia. Gotcha. Well, I'm a big fan of Esteban. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Columbia. I appreciate that, man. I do. iShine says the coaching is ass cheeks. Right. Agreed. Joel says build scheme off of players. That's
the key, bro.
Dick Vermeil said it. He said the best coaches can take the players that they have and they build their system and what they do off of the talent and what they're good at. I believe the Eagles do the opposite of that. They draft players and they'll draft a guy talent, right? But it may not even fit the scheme, but they'll draft him anyways. They don't build around the talent that they have. Because if you wanted to build around this team talent-wise, right? Obviously, you would build a lot more around Barkley on offense, right? Imagine if the Eagles were run first and ran off the play action with the weapons that they have. I mean, it would be brutal. What about defensively. I don't think that they're built defensively to play the scheme they play. They don't have great linebackers. They're supposed to have a really good front four, right? And they don't use them right. They should be a heavy blitz team that uses blitzes and stuff to disguise the deficiencies that they do have at linebacker. But they're more concerned. I mean, how do you drop Reddick all those times into coverage when he doesn't do that well? But what he does well is rush the quarterback. So I think this team does a bad job of that.
I've never seen a football. Well, I've never seen an organization, whether it's got to be the front office. It's got to be Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie agreeing that Nick is going to. Why is this defense kept in house the last few years? Why are they getting multiple coaches for this scheme? Because technically, like, Gannon actually did a pretty good job, but I know he was limited to doing a lot of things because he comes in the Philly with the Cardinals the year after and totally just is the most aggressive coach I've ever seen. You get Sean Desai, and they only hired Sean Desai as a puppet / he's the closest one that's worked with Vic Fangio when he was with the Bears as a quality control guy for a few years under Fangio. And then Patricia takes over during the year, which made it even worse. Like, I don't get, now you get the master at, these, I'm not telling people how I do my analytics and nobody knows and my proteges don't know and all these secrets of Vic Fangio being in the press box, doing what he's got to do. And then he's telling us, well, against Tampa Bay, he's like, well, you know what? They could have played it. The corners could have played a little tighter, but man, dude, like, why, where's the communication going downfield? You're waiting. It's 21-0. You literally they went down the field 3 to 5 plays. I mean, easily scored on us. There was 21-0, and you made no adjust. Like there was physically they weren't there, and mentally they were fucking not even there at all. Last week
they were checked out. Yeah, they were on they were ready for vacation, dude. They look like didn't they look like a team you would think? They look like a team you would think is undefeated and was getting ready to go on a bye week. Right, we're gonna have a week off. That's what they look like. T-Bone David Super Chick goes, hey, love you guys both. Wish we had better times. This year's a bust. How to fix, fire Nick, fire Fangio, hire Salia, and Lurie, and how he must let coaches coach.
Oh, Robert Salah got fired,
Yeah, he got fired. Now you hire him as a defensive I would consider him as a defensive coordinator. I don't know that I would hire him as a head coach.
No.
But man, thank you so much for the super chat. Fangio doesn't like to blitz. The whole defensive scheme is based upon, really, I think it's based upon analytics. I do. I mean, it's very easy, to figure out. They don't want to give up the giant big play. They don't want to give up the quick touchdown. They're not going to do that. But anything under 10 yards is free game. That's why you have quarterbacks 80% completion percentage.
I think honestly, like they make this like such a big, like Fangio makes himself look like it's some big scheme that he runs that has so many moving pieces, which maybe it does, but I think it's one of the most lazy defenses to really coach because realistically, how many adjustments do you really have to make? Whether you're going to change your fronts a few times, whether you're going to blitz, which we barely saw that last week at all, and. Your corners are playing off ball. So, you're really trying to trust the athleticism of your players to make these tackles. And obviously they didn't do that last week either. No. The Kobe Dean had 8 missed tackles just by himself.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's true. Splenda says 500. I'm convinced they team checked out based on the heat. Ugh.
I heard it was bad. I did hear it was horrible.
But both teams played in it, no?
That's true.
Shouldn't your team be tough enough to play in it? I don't know. Character development. Thank you for the super chat. He goes, so if we see it, why don't the coaches see it? Easy solutions from our point of view. They see something we don't see, it seems. And thank you for the super chat. I've come to the conclusion that what they don't see, they see it too. But it's like, I really feel like sometimes these guys' pride gets in the way. Like, we're going to do it, and we're going to win my way, and we're going to win with my system, and that's how we're going to do it, and we're going to just keep doing it until it works. Like I really feel like that's the way they are. You know, one of the things that I liked after the first year, Nick Sirianni, and after the first year, I thought he was going to be a good coach because we started like 2-5, and then we became run heavy. Remember, we went run heavy,
number one rushing offense in the league.
And we went to the playoffs. And I said, wow, here's a coach that is willing to do what it takes to win. He'll change his whole offense if need be. And then after the Super Bowl, he could have done that last year, and he didn't. So it's like I think sometimes we think these coaches are smarter and more geniuses than they are, and then they know a lot and all that stuff. But sometimes I just think that their pride gets in the way, that it has to be done their way, or it's the front office forcing and tying their hands, which may be true too.
Because if it really is the front office, and like if Nick is allowed to do this every week, and we don't even see a 1% slight change in what they're doing. If we don't even see that, then this team is going to lose for years to come. Because really, they could fire Nick and do everything that we want them to do. They could fire Fangio, they could fire Nick, but let's see who they hire. Let's see if they hire someone with a good resume, or are they going to hire somebody we have no? We're gonna be like, who the fuck is this coaching?
Dude,
who
like,
is this guy?
Yeah,
that's all it's going to take.
I forget who it was in my chat on Thursday. They're like, we're going to hire like Justin McCoy R. Smith from Christian Appalachian, which he was a quality control coach. It'll be something like that. It'll be somebody that isn't even a target. Because if you look at it, nobody knew who Sirianni was in terms of, he wasn't on anybody's head coaching list. Either was Doug Peterson, for that matter. Howie is not going to want to get somebody that gives up control.
So you hire a new head coach, right? So what if like they're in talks with a head coach that we're really happy about, but the head coach that's trying, the coach that's trying to get the head coaching job for the Eagles is like, I don't really want Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. That's just not my type of guy. Like I want my own, but the Eagles are going to have control of the situation. Say, well, if you come in, you have the job, but we're keeping Jalen Hurts for the next few years, and this is what we're going to be doing. And you have to try, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Brian Daboll could have got the head coaching job. Eagles called. He didn't even answer the phone because everybody knows how the Eagles, how the front office runs everything. And they're like, I've never seen a team run the same defensive scheme for this long as it's really not working. And they keep running with different coordinators, like 3 different fucking coordinators already.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Richie MC says Succession in the works. Kellen Moore might be working with Julian Laurie to get Nick Sirianni fired. And I'm convinced his father, Laurie, to give him more CEO responsibilities. That sounds like I'm saying that doesn't sound like that's just your opinion. That sounds like that's coming from somewhere you read something or something like that. Where'd that come from, Richie MC? That's pretty specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Meeting every Tuesday to explain why with the win you ran more than passes insanity. I know it's insanity, true. And I mean, and that's why Doug didn't stick around at the end of the day. I mean, who fires a coach that had just taken you to win a Super Bowl and then 3 straight playoff appearances? Usually you don't lose your job because of that, Joey don't like Jalen Hurts. No, I don't think Joey said anything about that at all.
I'm saying, like, not every head coach is going to come in here and say, "Oh yeah," and think Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback or they could turn him in. Not every guy that's going. Not every coach that goes for a head coaching job is going to think that Jalen Hurts is somebody they want as their quarterback. That's all I'm saying, and that happens all the time with a lot of teams.
Yeah. Easy. See, my thing with Jalen is, I mean, I acknowledge that he's making and having some of the same issues that we've talked about even last year. Like their issues are real. The question is just like, how do you fix it and what's causing it? And to me, I'm not convinced it's not the coach. And before I go and say we need to go get another quarterback or Jalen is the problem and we're in trouble, I want to see what Jalen does if you take Nick away and out of the equation. Obviously, Nick Sirianni is a problem enough that they spent the whole bye week trying to work whatever out. So obviously there's something there.
Obviously.
Yeah. Easy 500. I just had Bubba Gumps for the first time. Hopefully we'll blow out the Browns the way my colon gets blown. Oh my God. Easy said Foles could have got 3 rings. Listen, I really think if the Eagles would have kept Foles, kept Macklin, kept Deshaun, kept Shady with the offensive line and you know how good it was going to become, I really do think they would have won Super Bowl. I do. You know, but we'll see. J-Dog says, stop ignoring me. I didn't even see anything you wrote.
Jay, you do this shit every fucking stream.
I know. He gets so mad, and then he starts making fun of my neck. He goes, I have a question. If the Eagles don't get at least 3 sacks or an interception, are you blaming someone? And does it tell you the Eagles' defensive scheme didn't change? I mean,
all right,
I think they got to do something.
I'm going to read the injuries for the Browns. So on top of them playing so bad, they have so many injuries right now. So they're out. Running backs, Nick Chubb is out. Nyheim Hines is out. Safety Grant Delpit. Safety Ronnie Hickman. Their tackle James Hudson III. Center Ethan Pochik. All out. So all out for Sunday. Taking hits at running back, taking hits on the offensive line. But, you know, we can't even get by a backup. We can't even get pressure on a backup tackle at this point.
Here we go. The show is devolving into it, man. Jalen needs to rub that Diddy baby oil over himself so the defense can't tackle. Oh, God. Jado, I hate y'all so much. We love you, buddy. We love you. So let me ask you this. After all the complaining we did, because I have to. It's my job. What's your prediction for tomorrow, score-wise?
Jesus Christ.
And don't say 13-10. Please, something like that.
Honestly, dude, I'll say like
it's so bad. It's so
24-17. I don't know.
24-17. Man.
It's not good enough. Like it's just they should blow this team out. They should really blow them out. We know this.
I'm gonna say 34-10. I'm gonna say 34-10. And it may be 34-20. It depends how soon Winston gets put in. Because I think Deshaun Watson's getting benched tomorrow. I do. I don't think
Stefanski keeps saying like he's starting every week, and he's been doing that. Like as bad as he's been playing, he has not benched him yet.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? Let me read this super chat and then ask you a question based upon the Browns. Morgan Holmes, thank you for the super chat. He goes, we need to search the multiverse for a variant of Huff that gets sacks and Dean that can tackle out there with a plastic infinity gauntlet. I know. We need to find the Dean that's like 250 pounds, you know. But let me ask you. The Browns lose tomorrow. I mean, they're pretty much season's done. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Myles Garrett becomes a possible trade option that the Eagles possibly could pursue? And would you do it if you could?
Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles are going in a direction where they're winning football games and I feel like if they're on a roll, they should make a trade. If they're not, I think they should just maybe they start selling. Maybe they're less buyers than actual sellers. It really just depends on. It really just depends on what the compensation is going to be like. I mean, for a player like Myles Garrett to be on a bad team for a lot of years and still put up the statistics he does, you know, it's a really good player. So, I mean, there's really not much out there right now, and you're going to have to make a trade for somebody. I heard there were some rumors the other day on maybe acquiring Von Miller. That'd be another one. He's out there, cheap option, has worked with Fangio before. I don't know how deep the Eagles are getting into a trade for a player like that at that caliber. Would I like it? Sure, but don't waste the trade if you have none of this shit figured out on both sides of the ball. Like if it's like another 2 weeks down, week 9 is the trade deadline. If you're like another 2 weeks down the road and like you have, and this team still looks the exact same and there's just nothing changing, do not make a trade and waste more draft compensation and waste our time because it's not going to do anything.
Let's see. They got one. I think they've got at least 4 games before the trade deadline. So, if everything went right and they were 6-2, you have to become a buyer. If you're 5-3, I think you have to become a buyer. But yeah, I think you got. I don't even know. We don't even know really what players are even on the market because you need about another 2 weeks before teams start deciding what they want to do. Nick Yak says Browns break out tomorrow. Their best chance for a win. I mean, if I'm a Browns fan, if I'm in the Browns, I got to say, geez, the completion percentage against the Eagles is probably like somewhere in the 70s. They haven't been good against the run. I think we're giving up over 5 yards a carry or something like that. I would think that's what they think too, So I think they're going to come out ready to go.
Yeah, you should be happy as a Browns fan because you're going to get easy fucking yards if Deshaun Watson can throw the passes. 100%.
500. Do you think the Eagles should draft a quarterback a la Packers for? I think 2 years. I think my thought process is get Nick Sirianni out of the way and fix Jalen Hurts. Right? Like I think Jalen just needs to be better in certain situations. But let's get back Jalen Hurts on track. Let's get Nick out of the way. Try to get Jalen on track. If by the end of next year he's not, or it's clear, then in that 2026 draft, I'm loading up on first-round picks. Like, I'm seriously trying to acquire like 3-4 first-round picks and move up in the draft to get a quarterback. That's how I would approach it.
How many times are you going to reset the coaching staff to try to get this quarterback on track, to get this guy in a fucking rhythm every single game to score touchdowns? Like, you're not getting this guy in a rhythm. You make a certain amount of plays when the game starts. You figure out the process of the plays in order that they go that would get your quarterback in a rhythm. And if that's not working, you're going to have a failed season. And if you hire another head coach and another, I don't know, depending if Kellen Moore's still here, I don't even know what's going to happen at that point, but he's got to settle down with a coach that knows what he's doing and a coordinator that knows what he's doing, because you're just resetting the progress. You're just resetting everything, and you're wasting money. You're wasting money on paying a quarterback for no reason every year.
Right.
It's just where it is.
To me, it's just like last year. Remember, it's like, how do you I don't know how I can fully judge Jalen when I think that Nick is really in the way. I mean, like we said, they spent the whole bye week trying to work out problems.
It's not good.
Something is going on. So until I can get to where people are calling him Jalen Wentz and saying we got to get rid of him, I can't get there until Nick is out of the conversation. And once Nick is, if Nick is and Jalen continues to do the same things, then I'll be right there with everybody. But until then, I feel like he's a problem. Marquise Rice, thank you for that super chat. He goes, if the Eagles put up a 40 ball tomorrow, who gets credit? Fire Nick, fire quarterback 1. AJ only been one good game, put up 34 on Green Bay. Dak threw 3, interception, fumbled. Media praised him. Quarterback 1 fumbled, and Joey made 37 videos to cut him.
I fucking did not.
37 videos to cut him.
I
love the. No, I mean, listen, if they win tomorrow and they put 40 points up, then, I go out there and I smoke a cigar and I'll give them credit,
But I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, the Eagles are on top. The Eagles are going. We're back, baby. We're back. No, it's not even close to that. As long as
I'm still going to say that.
All I want them to do is I just want them to win. I don't care if it's by a point, 3 points, 10 points. I don't care what it is.
He's a typo. He meant 36. And Marquise, thank you for that super chat.
I don't know.
No, I don't think. I don't. I mean, I don't know that you've ever said. I don't think you've ever said get rid of.
I've been more against this head coach than the quarterback. Probably 10 out of 10 times I've been blaming Nick more than the fucking quarterback. But I feel like, yeah, Hurts is not playing well right now. But it starts with his coaching staff, dude. And what is the top consistent with our coaching right now? Well, who's the top consistent person that's been around and everything changing around? It's the head coach has been the main consistent.
Yeah. I mean, I look, the turnovers are really what drives me crazy with Jalen right now. Like the fumble last, versus Tampa when you're going down, get back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like, okay, well, if Jalen's got these issues, why does he have these issues? And then I see the coach and everything the coach does, and I'm looking at the plays going, these are the same plays that we had problems with last year. Why are they still here? So I'm just saying, once we see what Jalen is with Nick out of the way, like if Nick backs off and then Kellen Moore takes more control, I really believe that a lot of this stuff will sort itself out. And if it doesn't, then we know we have a problem, Bev says, "Hey Philly, I emailed you about the picture a couple months ago. I wonder if it ever sent." I didn't see any email. You see that picture of the thumbnail? That's me. That's old Philly 500 back in I don't know which high school that was. Either it could have been 3 high schools. It could have been Washington Township, Gloucester Catholic, or Watkins Mill in Maryland when I was in Maryland my senior year. So it could have been one of those. I don't know which one it is. But I don't know how you found that picture, but
that's
shout
really
out to you,
scary.
man.
That's really scary.
Leon Banks, I mean, damn, I look good there. I look like Denzel. Leon Banks, they were super chat. We better hope Watson doesn't get benched. If so, an L. I think he's getting benched tomorrow. And I should say also before that, Paul's new ditty. But
yeah, that's what happens though, because usually if there's a quarterback change and you have been practicing against what that quarterback does, you don't know what you're going to get with that quarterback being in the game. That's what happens.
Nick Grant, you mother humper, man, you mother humper. Oh, he's a mother humper. All right, sorry, that was a personal thing. Yeah, no, go ahead. Say that what you were saying again.
No, I'm good. No, I'm done. Go ahead.
So, Frank says, would you guys give a first for Garrett? He was defensive player of the year last year, remember? No, I wouldn't give up a first round pick for him. What is he, 29 years old? I'm not doing it.
No, if they were dominant every game, I would probably do something pretty high, but not like this. I wouldn't give up a pick. No.
Yeah, one time DSG. Cooper DeJean is starting tomorrow, right? Yeah, I think he's supposed to start in the slot tomorrow.
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yep.
500. Can you ask Joey why he has so many rants? I can send my wife over to calm him down. Joey, why do you have so many rants?
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah, I can't. Certain things I got to be careful what I read or say because I get throttled. Ah, man, it's funny. Let's see. How many fourth downs do we get for this game? Oh, I mean, I think anything in like 4th and 3, 4th and 2. I think they go for it. I mean, because Nick's going to keep making the big decisions, go for it on 4th down, punt it on 4th down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we thought that the 4th down decisions have been the biggest problem with him, and then he's saying, "I take over play calling here and there," and now he's talking with Jalen Hurts on a bye week. Where, oh well, if I'm not calling the plays that much, why is he talking to the head coach?
Yeah, exactly. Clark David super chat. He goes, "We know Jalen has skills. We also know Nick sucks. This is true. It's true.
This is true."
Let's see. Easy says 500. You clearly forgot the name of. Oh yeah, remember I said that the head coach. Somebody told me it was going to be somebody from some obscure place. It was Easy. He said 500. You clearly forgot the name of our head coach to be Mr. Quandle Dingle from Central Catholic Baptist East Tennessee State A&M Tech, who was the head water boy. Honestly, a great hire. Yeah, it'll be somebody obscure like that. There's no question about it. No question. We got over 650 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe if you're on my channel. Click the link and go hit it and go sub up Joey as well. We appreciate you guys being here. Listen. So all these things that we talked about tonight, though, I want to make it clear. Like, the hope is that these things are going to be recognized by the team, the coach, and changed and fixed and adjusted starting tomorrow. That's the hope. We listed all the things that they got to work on during the bye week and what they had to do. Now we're going to find out if they did it.
Do you hit? Are you going to hit your breaking point tomorrow if they lose? Like, will you be like totally like blow it up?
Say it again. Can't hear you.
You'll hear me? You hear me now?
I don't know. Am I the only one that can't hear him?
Yeah, everyone can hear you. Hello, hello, hello.
I cannot hear you. Let me see. Let me see something.
Hello, hello. Oh, I'm going through.
I can hear that. Yeah. I can't hear it. Did anybody? Oh, you guys can't? I can't hear him. Why can't I hear you? Hold on. Let me see.
It's fucking AirPods. Fucking Apple products, bro. Fucking Apple products.
Say something.
Yo.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
I don't know. I cannot hear you.
Hello, hello, hello. I hate. No, the only Apple product I have is a iPhone. That's it. Can't hear you at all. I'm raging tomorrow, dude.
Yo.
You hear me? No?
I don't hear anything. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Now you hear me, but I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Let me put these away. DXD, KDX, favorite super chat. If we don't win by 3 scores or Hurts has horrible turnovers, fire everybody and rebuild. I hear you. Let me see. I still can't hear Joey, though.
No.
Say something, Joey.
Hello.
Now I hear you.
Apple products.
I have no idea. I had it on my MacBook speaker that wasn't working. But, yeah. Okay. Only 500 can't hear. Yeah. Joey said you're fat 500. Oh, get in line. Everybody else. That's my chat. Like, oh, it's Thursday night. Philly 500 stream football. No, I'm just taking fat questions. That's all. I'm basically answering fat comments. That's really what it is. That's like my Thursday night football streams. Let's see. I want Slay and Bradbury and a 3rd or 4th rounder for Derek Hall. It would be nice.
3rd, 4th rounder.
No neck 500. Thank you, Lace. I feel so much better about myself now.
Yeah. So I think I said this. I said, if they lose this game, are you saying blow? Are you gonna say blow it up? Are you gonna be like completely not done with the team? But
no, I think. I mean, I don't think 2-4 is or 2-3 is like a end all be alls. But I think if you lose, I think that you don't need. I think you should fire Nick Sirianni. I would fire him and put probably more as my interim head coach for the year. Because listen, I go back to last year and all the games that we lost and all the good things that Nick said each week and all the things the player said about getting back. I mean, what was the whole thing with the whole Twitter thing where Nick Sirianni was like trying to pump everybody up in the meeting, and they were playing it like, "Oh, here we are, we're back." Like, dude, he's been saying that for like
He
a
does
year,
that every week,
and nobody listens. So to me, my thought is, if you lose this game, then Nick's got to go. If you win this game, but he doesn't look good, then he can't call any more plays anymore. He's got to be done with it. He's basically got to put him in the boiler room. So that's what I think. Fade to game. David Super Chat goes, questions for both of you. Do you all watch any of the sports shows like First Things First, The Faculty, First Take, Speak?
I don't.
I don't.
It's
No.
It's entertainment bullshit. It's there. Half of it is headlines and it's viewership, and it's nothing straight about how people feel. They go by the trend of everything. I never watch that shit. And the only time I see something, if it's about the Eagles, is somebody clips it and puts it on X. Other than that, that's the only time. I don't sit like put on my fucking cable and say, and just watch all of it. I never do that.
Yeah, Nick Gates says, what comes first? Joey getting laid or 500 losing 5 pounds? Joey's getting laid first.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's not even a discussion. Ronnie says it's set up 500. These motherfuckers are jello. I know, right? Let's just my own perspective. Sujay goes, was Sirianni controlling YouTube left Nick do better? I don't know, Nick. I don't know what's going on.
If they watched YouTube, I mean, they're going to be home. I mean, you're home for this game. I mean, this is the perfect setting against the worst team. You're home. You want to show off in front of your fans. Your weapons are coming back. There's going to be some pressure in that building. No doubt.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I mean, you'll be streaming. I'll be streaming. I'll be doing a doubleheader tomorrow. So, I mean, hopefully I'll be in a good mood. But, I mean, I think tomorrow, one way or the other, I feel like we're going to find something out for sure. We're going to find out tomorrow, no matter what, is if this team will respond to Nick Sirianni. I really believe that, because if they come out flat like they've been on vacation all week, I think Nick is done, man. I think he's done. Dead man walking.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've been pretty much done with him for the last couple weeks, and we'll see what happens. I really hope it's not an ugly game. I'm hoping it's some consistency, and they just look good, because they should just look better. Period.
Yeah. And we'll see. If they, like I said, I just want to see how they respond. Because I don't believe they listen to Nick at all. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't think they listen to him. Clark Davis Super Chat, it's the perfect storm for a fat ass L. Yeah, that would be brutal. Gonzalez says, how do you keep Gainwell out of your yard? Put up a goalpost. Yes, exactly right. When Nick and Jalen aren't pillow fighting, yes, you're right. Put up the goalpost. I don't understand the infatuation with Gainwell. I don't get it. I would really actually like to see Shipley get some more.
Why aren't these other guys? Why isn't Jalix Hunt getting opportunity and getting more? Like, why is he not getting more reps? Why not just throw him in the fire in a heavy rotation? What is the problem? Seriously, dude, why is Will Shipley not even in the receiving game right now? I mean, he's got the talent. I know there's something there with him, but I mean, you got none of your there's none of your mid rounders aren't even not even. He had Jalix Hunt had 5 snaps. He had 5 snaps, and he blew up a play last week. A couple weeks.
He did. I know. He needs to play more. That's what I'm saying. We've got, besides all the coach issues, like, we got fat cats on this team. We got guys that just go out there and go through the motions, and they seem checked out. Like, why not get the hungry guys out there that have something to prove, that got chip on their shoulder, that are ready to play, man? I mean, Jalix Hunt wants to play, man. He wants to be great. He does.
Crazy,
and I think he's going to be a steal. And I think he can make an impact now.
you draft Jalix Hunt, and then you go through training camp, and then Fangio's like, "Oh, he really surprised me. I didn't expect him to. He really surprised me out of this all." I mean, like this was one of your guys you brought in for you brought him in for a visit, and then you're surprised by you're surprised by I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know.
Fat cat's like 500. Yeah, that's right. Like me. Man, this dude's gonna send me to like a fat form or something. I'll tell you this, J-Dog. Just chills. This Gainwell had 5 carries the entire year. He stinks though. Like every time they're in the 2-minute drill,
he's in the game.
Barkley comes out and he goes in, and it's like, why are you taking your best player out off the field with 2 minutes left? Don't you want him on the field? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the questions we have. Now, at least Devontae Maddox, at least he's out of the equation tomorrow. And we're going to get some DeJean. And I expect to probably go after DeJean. And he might give up a pass. He might give up a couple passes.
Yeah, right.
It is what it is. I'll deal with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But tomorrow will be interesting nonetheless. I don't know. Is there anything else, man, you want to say before we get on out here?
I mean, look, like I'm not telling this team to win in style. If I just want them to win regardless, I don't care how they do it. It doesn't mean I'm going to think the Eagles are back or they're going to be, we're setting ourselves up for something great. And from one game, and these next 4 weeks are going to be crucial. But if they lose tomorrow, then Nick has to get fired. If they win by a little bit tomorrow, then Nick's got to stay out of play calling. If things start to pick up and then maybe Nick comes back into this game against Cleveland and he starts messing things up, things have to change. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be exciting to see what happens. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think, this team offensively, I just think when you get Devontae and AJ back, I just think it's too much for a team like Cleveland. I just don't think they can keep up.
No.
Marky Rice, thank you for Super Chagos. With 11-6 being back tomorrow, I'd love to see 88-26 have a huge game. Cross the middle to 88, then a deep ball to 11. Vic, tighten up, no Diddy. Yeah, that'd be great, I don't want to see Goddard just fall off the face of the earth now that these guys are back. I don't, Devontae's having, he's off to a really good year. I mean, he's got 7, every game he's played, he's had at least 7 catches. I think he's had 7 catches every game. So, and then AJ, the first game he played, it's a different team when you got these weapons. So hopefully, they click on all cylinders. They just come out and they just run over this team. And before you know it, it's 21-0, something like that. And that's all she wrote. It'd be nice. Daniel Bigelow, David Super J goes, it'd be one thing if we bring Gainwell in for a snap or two to give Saquon a rest, but they are bringing him in for entire series. Makes no damn sense. I know it doesn't. It's just weird to me.
For the most important moment in the game where you want to score before half,
right. You needed points before half. You needed the points before half, and they come out and they put Gainwell in. It's like, what are you doing? Third downs, sometimes they put Gainwell in, and people say, "Well, Gainwell's a good blocker. He ain't a better blocker than Barkley. There's no chance." But those are the things that I look at and go, "Well, they did that last year with Swift. Remember, that was one of our big complaints." So Kellen Moore wasn't here last year. Why is it still happening? Because the head coach wants Gainwell in there. That's why. So it is what it is. But let me thank you guys all so much, and shout out to BetUS for they didn't sponsor this video, but for being part of this video. And I will be definitely making some bets. And man, before we get out of here, you want to say anything else to define beautiful people?
That's really good. That's really it. That's really it. I mean, it's really, are they pretenders, or you had 2 weeks to really, figure this out against Cleveland, and whether these talks with Jalen Hurts, and I mean, it's just going to look even worse if they lose tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. But if they lose tomorrow, oh man, it's
right.
I will. Might be a good day.
Oh. Yeah, I'm getting to like the Nelson Aguilar tirades I used to have, the Nate Gary, like it's all building up with Nick Sirianni. Like I don't know how much more of this I can take with this guy. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, listen, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna go. I don't know what Joey's doing. I gotta go. My wife wants me to watch the Mendez Brothers show on Netflix, so we're gonna go watch that. And we'll see. And Bev, send me the email. I did not see the email, so resend it to me, please. Go come to Regional Colts, baby. We own Gloucester Catholic ass. Oh, there you go. See, you must have found that on Gloucester Catholic, didn't you? Interesting. I wonder if you could find pictures of me in my Gloucester Catholic uniform. That would be interesting. But all right, guys, I'm in my football stuff. But all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We will talk to you later.
All right.
Don't be a dingbat. Peace.
Peace out. Peace out.
To go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott!
Where
Trying to feed the C Lamb! Trying to feed the C Lamb! You tried to feed the C Lamb! You got to give it to C Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking it. Cut it off. It's over.
RJ7 Deuce, man, thank you so much for the super chats of Brady to the Raiders, or to own the Raiders. We shall see. We shall see.